Time to remember the sacrifices all Canadians in the armed forces made for our freedom. And tonight, John Swartz sat down with a World War II veteran who remembers the challenges of war and the friends he lost.
This is a Lancaster.
87-year-old Jim Mulholland was an officer pilot in World War II, flying a Lancaster bomber like the model he's holding. A map of the world has pushpins for every place he's flown to, and when the lights go out, black light illuminates them better. The orange dots signify the 32 bombing missions he flew.
Tell me, when Remembrance Day is approaching, what kinds of thoughts go through your mind?
52% of bomber crew didn't come back. And I realize how lucky I am. I'm not that religious, but I know my mother must have had calluses on her knees praying for me. And I also did my share. Because if I did get it, I wanted to go upstairs, not downstairs, if you know what I mean. And Remembrance Day, I always remember Bud Burt, who was my friend, who was dead before I got over there. I went with him for 2 years, and we said we will not separate. And I bombed the target he was killed at a later date. And it wasn't like a revenge. It was just sort of a self-satisfaction. Well, okay, Bud, there's my little bit for you, you know.
How did you end up in the Air Force?
We flipped a coin, and I guessed it, so he came in the Air Force with me. Otherwise, I would have gone in the Navy with him. But he was dead before I got overseas.
A lot of servicemen, people that have served, that I've spoken to in the past, always have a story to tell that about their luckiest moment when they were serving. And what was yours?
We had an engine shot out. We're coming home on 3 early in the morning. We're over France, but the sun has come up, and the rear gunner says, there's an ME Junkers 262, which is the jet aircraft, which could go 150 miles faster than we could on 3 engines. We weren't limping, but we were not in any race. We were way behind everybody else. And we knew he was going to come at us. And finally the rear gunner says, he's off on the right. He was about 1,000 feet off. And suddenly he came roaring in and was firing. And I was in my corkscrew, and the rear gunner, he was firing, but he says, my God, there's a Mustang coming in from up above. I'd seen what was going on. And he was just spreading this here Junkers 262, who had not looked up, or he would have seen him, but he was looking at us. We were his killed. But the Mustang, I don't know whether he was dead before he hit the ground or not, but they both pulled out, but the Junkers 262 crashed, spread over a half a mile or so. He backed off a little bit, and then he went around us. He just about clipped our wingtips, just the old victory rolled, and he disappeared, never did see him after that.
You have an opportunity to say something to the younger generations about Remembrance Day and why we should be paying attention to veterans like you. What do you say to us?
I just feel that that war had to be fought. I'm so disappointed now that we have these crazy people killing other people, and I just thank God that nobody has slipped one of those missiles into Jerusalem or wherever. But I'm sure it's going to happen. They're going to do it. And I fear the future, but I don't know what to say, really. You got me tongue-tied.
And that was John Swartz sitting down with Jim Mulholland. We'll